Here we are. We find ourselves in the early morning hours of May 17th, 2023. It's a very significant date in the work because May 17th, 1792 is an important date because it is the date that Wall Street started. There were 24 brokers that got together and made an agreement that they wouldn't trade, they wouldn't undercut each other, they wouldn't sell it, they would all sell it at the same price, and basically that formed the Wall Street that we have today. And it's important for the work of the PL-89 calendar because a couple of key points in the PL-89 calendar is the balancing of the sun and the moon. It takes into account the Gregorian calendar and the lunar calendar. And there are other implications to that. But there's a few verses, key verses that are part of that, inspiration for that, from Psalm 72, Tehillim Parak Ayin Beis, which states, this is L'Shlomo, Elohim Mishpatecha L'Melech Tein, V'tzidkascha L'Ben Melech, etc. Okay, Yeraucha im Shemesh v'lefnei Yareach dor dorim. They will fear you as long as the sun and the moon endure, generation after generation. And another verse is Yifrach b'yamav tzadik v'rov shalom ad b'li yareach. May the righteous flourish in his days with abundant peace beyond the days of the moon. Interesting statement. What does it mean that it's beyond the days of the moon? And finally, this is a verse that the Talmud states is concerning the Messiah that says, Yihi shemo le'olam lifnei shemesh yinon shemo v'yisbarchu bo kol goyim yash ruhu. Verse 17 states, May his name endure forever, may his name connote mastery as long as the sun endures, and all nations will bless themselves by him. They will praise him. Okay. One of the purposes of this PL-89 calendar is to reconcile things, and its full effectiveness is even beyond the scope of what I understand at this point. But I'm working it day by day, taking it day by day, and discovering new things about it as time goes on. Tuesday, May 16th, 2023 was just about 13 minutes ago. But the square that is allotted to that. This is the PL-89 calendar, and there's a lot of complicated rules to it that were developed over time. But basically, there's two sets. Okay, there's two sets of reckoning of time with this. One set, the first set, is pre-2020. Maybe you could say pre-COVID, Corona, whatever. That era, that was definitely a time 6 years or 7 years before that. This first box started. If there's, I'm just gonna not explain a whole lot, but just have the understanding that people have some knowledge of astrology, basic astrology, but there are a few different seasons. and there's broken up into 3 different categories. And it's known as cardinal, fixed, and mutable. Cardinal, roughly speaking, are the first months of the season. The fixed are the middle months of the season, and the mutable are the last months of the season. In the first sector, the first half, these first months what started off with a mutable. In other words, it started off with the end. And I'm not sure why. This is just what was given from the inspiration. So you're dealing with Elul /September, December or Kislev, Adar, March, and Sivan, June. Those are the months according to the first wave. But the second wave, or post 2020, you actually start it intuitively what you would think it should be, which is the first month should be in the first square. In the first month, the first square was Nisan. Nisan's here. This is going to be ER, and this is Sivan. Therefore, and there's reasons for both, and there's word serendipity, but there's a very interesting synchronizations. But getting back to the Buttonwood Agreement, what formed Wall Street, and there's greater implications because you're dealing with Wednesday. And Wednesday is the sun and the moon. That was when it was created, the 4th day. But it's also, in the system, it has to do with money, because money is light, and the sun and moon is light. Money is a kind of light. It can be used for good or bad, but it's an energy, it's a light. So, it's all coming together because it unifies and it reconciles the sun and the moon. Yaakov and Esav. Good in holiness and evil in holiness. Duality becomes unity. And the English gematria of 89 is unity. '89 equals unity. So that's what the PL-89 is all about. It's all about unity. Getting back to the PL-89 calendar, box number 27 came out on the 25th day of Iyar. You can be demonstrated here, but if you know Rosh Chodesh here, Iyar is over here, and box number 27, okay? Box number 27 right here. Now, this is interesting. The 25th day of Iyar in 1792 was May 17th. This year, it was May 16th. It's just a day apart. But why is it fascinating? What links them? The 24 elders, brokers, of the Buttonwood Agreement sat down under that Buttonwood tree, as the tradition goes, in front of, I think it was 68 Wall Street. And they made this pact of integrity to trade amongst themselves and not to undercut each other and to fix the price at a certain rate. And this is what formed Wall Street that we have today. $27. No, not 24. Wait a minute. If you count the 24 brokers, you'll find that actually 3 of them are like brokerages, which means that 3 of them have like 2 guys, which means that really it's 27. 27 brokers. Wow. does that mean that on the day of 25th, year 25 of 5783, and the exact same day, actually, that was year 25, 231 years ago, 27 was the box here? That's an example of the reconciliations that are done through the PL-89 calendar. Thank you very much.